What's up, cupcakes? What's going on, guys? How you doing? How is everybody doing out there? All right, so Cesar will be along shortly. He's just wrapping some things up. I gotta make sure I get his invite over to him here. Hang on a second. So, guys, how are you guys today? What's going on? Bearish, bullish? Let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat. All right, got his invite sent over. We got some super chats to get into. Marvin, my guy, what's up, man? Hit the like and subscribe to the Patreon channel for the sauce. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. There you go, Marvin, my guy. Thank you for supporting the channel, brother. Thanks for always supporting me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. So Cesar will be along shortly. I'm just going to go ahead and hop into the chat a little bit. Best collab ever. Thank you, Jared. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I'm happy to be happy to have Cesar on. I think he's going to do a live stream over on his channel too, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah. All right, so let's get into the chat a little bit. Ryan, let's go. Crypto Crossroads, let's go. Everybody, please hit the like and subscribe. Yes, absolutely, guys. Smash it, whack it, crack it. Do what you got to do. Beebs, my dude. What's up, Rob and Cesar? Hello, Future Cruise Millionaires. Let's go. Twitch, today is a beautiful day to DCA. If I only had a few thousand more. Yeah, I did some DCAing this morning too, man. I put my buy alerts over on the Patreon, so that was a good time. Jesse and James, yo, Rob, what's good? You enjoying this dip? I've just been sitting on my hands because good things are ahead. Yes, you are absolutely right. Good things are ahead. I'm excited about it. Dominic, what's up, man? I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Possible to see the 2-cent Miria? Please answer me. Yes, absolutely. 2 cents Miria, absolutely. Spuds, what's up, my dude? Good to see you. Clifford's in the house, living in Central Florida. The dynamic duo. There you go. Ari says, hit the likes, people. Now, people, this is going to be amazing conversation between Cesar and Rob. Amazing collaboration today. Everyone hit the likes. Yes, I will remind you guys as well that I have another collaboration tonight. Max will be on the channel from Maximus Crypto. Make sure you guys give him a follow over on YouTube. Shoot him a sub. And follow him on X as well. Oh, wow, it's finally happening. It is, man. It is the moment we've all been waiting for. Thank you, Cesar and Rob, for guiding me through this first bull run. Hey, Rob, what's up? It's our boy, Cesar, NFA. I'm not a financial advisor. Happy to see you both on here. Yeah, the reason I found Rob, appreciate you for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Easy. Oh, snap. Bromance time. Let's get it. H. Barbarina in the house. What's going on? Yo-Yo Mars, been stacking the gems, brother. Great time to DCA. There you go. That's what it's all about, man. All hail the power and might of Cesar. Absolutely. Absolutely. What's up, crypto fam? And how you guys doing? Doing good, man. Doing good. Like I said, Cesar will be along shortly. Rob, what's the catalyst for XYO today? I'm not sure that there was actually a catalyst per se, but let's go have a look. I think it's just regular chart action. If I'm being honest with you. Oh wait, let me have a look. April. Oh, that was April. 2 hours ago, the XYO CEO and CTO explained what sovereignty and decentralization brings to the table. What else has happened here for XYO? Learn more about the innovation. Nothing that I can see in terms of catalysts. It's just chart action, right? So if we go and we look over at XYO, XYO, yeah, we're breaking out of this downward channel that we're in. My price target was up here on the breakout. It went way, way longer than anticipated. But we're just breaking out of a channel here, guys. This is just regular structure. That's what this is, right? This is a regular breakout of I mean, you could call it a falling wedge or a bull flag, really, because you've got this big pole. That's what she said. But what likely can happen here now is you could see us, if we close outside of here, you could see a retest of the top of the trend line before you break out. It's not 100% necessary, but it is, however, 100% possible, right? So you don't always need the retest, but it does often happen. But the first step would be closing this daily candle outside of this structure, right? If that doesn't happen, if it falls back down inside of here before the daily close, well, then you've got a false breakout on your hands, right? So, yeah, just chart action, man. It's been due for a long time. XYO's been due for a long time for that breakout. So that's a common misconception in crypto, guys, that people we indoctrinate people into crypto, and because of like crypto YouTube or crypto Twitter and stuff like that, people end up thinking, because so many YouTubers will glorify catalysts, that it kind of convinces new people to crypto that a project has to have a catalyst in order to go up, right? And that is a very common misconception. So that's what I would say. Like a lot of times breakouts like this one right here on XYO is just a structural breakout. That's all that it is. There's no big news. There's no catalyst. You don't need a big catalyst or news for a breakout to take place, right? So just food for thought, guys. We got to break the habit of thinking that you have to have some sort of good news for crypto to go up, right? You don't. Or bad news for crypto to go down, right? You don't need any kind of good catalyst, good or bad. And I'll probably talk a little bit about that with Cesar, because I'm pretty sure he feels the same way. So we'll get his opinion on that as well when he gets here. So yeah. We got another super chat. Devin, good afternoon. Thank you for everything you do. Is setting a limit order of 8 cents to get rid of all my myriad too high, or should I set it lower? Well, I would say ask me over on the Patreon, and I will definitely help you get your exit plan in place, my friend. That's what we do over on the Patreon. We help people with their exit strategies and their profit-taking plans. We do not, however, do that on YouTube. Where were we here? William, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Leo's in the house. What's going on, man? Carlos, Robin, Cesar, you guys are the best. Swift to the moon. Yes, I am so bullish on Swift, guys. Honestly, the tokenomics on Swift, I think Swiftcoin is going to catch a lot of people by surprise. I do. Even I think that I have been a little bit too conservative on my price targets for Swiftcoin, because, I mean, the tokenomics on it alone are just, and when people actually start using, like, a lot of people don't realize what Swiftcoin is all about. I mean, their AI tools are fantastic, right? Let me see if I can bring it up here. I mean, they have their swap, first of all, Bridgers, right? Bridgers is going to be big once it gets into the US. I really do believe that, right? So this is their swap. I mean, it's the all-chain bridge, they call it, right? Swap across many different networks. And I mean, if you can go to their prediction, check this out, guys, right? Check this out. This is just one of their tools. This is their AI tool that I really am bullish on. Their AI price prediction. So, I mean, if you're looking for price predictions, I mean, you could go here, man, and you could look it up, right? But they have all kinds of tools on their SWFTC AI, which is integrated with DeepSeek, I believe, right? So, which a lot of people found controversial for a little while, but yeah, so I'm bullish on it, man. I'm bullish on it. It gives you all the current prices, the wealth index. You can check out the price prediction versus the actual. So you've got what is the actual price is the green, and then the red is the actual. Oh, that's the actual price trend. Sorry, the red is the actual price, and the prediction is green, right? So very interesting. You can switch over to the hourly or the daily. So yeah, anyway, the point is, guys, their tools are fantastic. Swift is so much more than you think that they are, right? You've got your oscillators, very, very bullish, giving you buy orders, sell orders, and stuff, buy alerts, sell alerts, stuff like that. So very, very bullish tool, guys. Swift is way bigger than you think that it is. The tokenomics are way better than people are giving it credit for, and I think it's going to do crazy good things. So, okay, so Cesar just messaged me. He's just trying to set up his StreamYard right now, so he'll be here momentarily. Guys, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. It doesn't cost you a single solitary thing. So go ahead and do that. It's free. It's absolutely free, guys, right? So check it out, man. Check it out. All right, what else do we have? Paul, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Hoover's in the house. What's up? What's up? Hoover says, what's good, fellas? Two of my favorite. Cesar, you should do more lives on your channel. Been liking those when you do them. Thanks for hosting. Absolutely. And look who's here. My guy, Cesar. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Rob? How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Yes.
I can't hook up my camera, so like normally I have my other camera, but I'm using like my computer camera right now, so it's a little lower quality, but whatever. We got it working.
I would say it looks like a different angle.
Oh yeah. I feel like I look different too, even like I don't know. Maybe this will help if let me see. No, that looks worse. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good, man. The long-awaited collaboration. Everyone's been chomping at the bit for a while.
Hell yeah. We've been trying to time it, guys. We've been trying to time it to where the market would pump, but man, the market just hasn't pumped yet, has it? We've been trying to time it right, so we're just saying, screw it, let's do it.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is when you do it when there's no pump in the market and stuff like that, like people just stop paying attention. I'm sure you've noticed lately, views have taken, especially the last 2 weeks, just taken a nosedive.
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel like a lot of people, they mess up, man. They try to do things different or they go away. It's like you just got to be consistent, man. Keep making videos, keep pushing content. Even in the boring times, whenever I was not a YouTuber, whenever I was watching YouTubers, I appreciated it when they would still make videos even in the boring times. And I watched less, but like you gotta pump that content out, man. That's just how it is, day in and day out.
Oh, 100%. I found that I personally believe that when things are slow, that is the best time to be paying attention to what's going on, and that's the biggest mistake people make, right?
Exactly. No, there's money to be made. When people aren't paying attention, that's when there's money to be made. When everybody's got their eyes on something, that's when you should probably think about taking profits, probably, or whatever, Yeah,
that's what I always say to my people. I say, millionaires are not made when everything's green. They're made when everything's red.
Do you get an echo whenever I talk, or whenever you talk? Do you get an echo at all?
Nope. So okay, you can mute when you talk if there's the mute down at the bottom if you're getting an echo.
I don't get an echo at all. I just didn't think about it. I'm like, I got my mic. Whenever you talk through StreamYard, I mean, I'm wondering, because that's always been an issue with other things. I normally have to bring out the headphones, but if you're not hearing anything, then that's good. That works for me, man. Less work for me.
I'm good. I use OBS, but mainly just when I stream the charts at night. I don't use it for my live. I get more tools out of StreamYard. They enable me to do more stuff. So
that's cool. I'm new to StreamYard. I'm more familiar with OBS, but I'm definitely trying now. I can see that it's beneficial. There's a lot more going on. I'm confused, right? It's like this new tech for me right now. On that note, how do I pull up my screen if I want to show anybody anything? Just whenever we're done with the intro and whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little there's a list of tabs at the bottom of your screen there. Mute, stop cam settings. If you just click share screen,
That's weird. That's weird. No, I don't see a share screen.
You don't see a share screen? Okay, maybe.
It says mute, stop cam, settings, and then present or present.
There's
Oh, that is share screen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. There it is. Select window. I might want to do what
Pop
I want to do.
Pop anything you want up there, brother.
All right, let's see. I wonder if OBS, if I allow OBS on there, does that do anything? Maybe get rid of this. What if I just do, can you see my screen at all right now or no?
Yep. There we go.
There we are. Oh, there we are. Yeah. Okay, cool. So then if I was like this, boom, right? But now I can't see you. How do you see you?
How do I see me? Well, because on OBS, I guess it's different. Like on StreamYard, you see how we can see each other on the side screen here?
Yeah.
On OBS, they put a little screen in the bottom right corner you can put for yourself.
Right.
But you might not have it set up yet. Well, you usually have it set up when you're.
I do, but I just.
You know why? Because you have. Yeah, because you have StreamYard active right now, so OBS can't access your camera because StreamYard is accessing your camera.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Hey, I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna stop and see if it just takes it out there. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how to fix this. So you guys can see
the little black box.
No, like how do I get it to where is there a way where I can still see you and then still like pull up my Onyx coin and stuff like that and all that stuff, or no?
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, what you can do if you just jump over to StreamYard, go over to StreamYard for a second, and then your screen is sharing right now. So go back to present and select your screen. It'll pop up on StreamYard.
That's what I did. So if I click stop right now, if I go to present, share screen, it does this. Let's see. We want to do it like this, and then allow, and then that's the issue. I feel like that's the issue for me. If I click recording, then it does this. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever. I'll have to figure it out later. Because you just toggled, right? You can toggle between my screen share and not, right? That's what you just did?
Yep. I can go to my screen or I could go to your screen.
And then my screen, whenever it does this, if I'm on XCN right now, you can see my chart, right? You can see me doing all this.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I can't, but I can't see you. Now I can't see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like I said, StreamYard has access to your camera right now, so OBS can't. So
yeah. I think I'm just missing something. That's okay though. Whatever.
Yeah, we can see it, but you have StreamYard right now is locked on your OBS screen. That's why if you go to present screen and select the actual chart, then your OBS won't be on the screen. It'll just be your chart. Does that make sense? Like it'll look like this.
Let's see. I'll click allow. Is this better?
There you go.
Is this better?
Yeah. So now we can see your chart and we can see you.
Okay, cool. But then whenever I'm looking at the chart, I can't see you. Is that normal?
Well, I mean, that's because you're streaming across OBS and on here. So that's, so it's normal for that. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't have OBS running right now. I turned it all off. So whatever. I think I'm not fully understanding how it works, but let's move on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're making riveting conversation for the people.
Yeah. Anybody else who's used StreamYard, they probably know exactly what what I'm not understanding here, and I'm sure this is like just something simple. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, man. What's new in your world? What are you thinking about the markets these days?
Oh my god, man! Like honestly, everyone keeps asking me like, where do you think the price of this is going to be at the end of July? And I'm just like, man, like, I know you're a heavy chart guy, and I'm a heavy more what's going on in the world. I'm a macro guy, and I'm a previous cycle history guy, and I'm just looking at what's going on, and Trump's like, well, we're going to decide whether we're going to start bombing places in the next 2 weeks. So I'm like, well, shit. Well, now there's going to be uncertainty in the markets for 2 weeks, right? So
potentially, yeah, potentially.
But
I don't know.
I was also just talking to everybody before you got here about, because someone asked me why XYO had broken out, what the news was, what the catalyst was, and I was explaining that we have a problem in crypto where we indoctrinate people into, they come in and they are under the belief that there has to be some sort of, whether either good or bad news to move a chart, and I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way.
No. That's how you rationalize, and that's how it is with anything new, right? You try to rationalize it. Maybe like what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to rationalize this StreamYard, but it clearly something's not clicking. You know what I mean? I got the wrong rationality. It just takes time and experience. Yeah, news is typically, not always, you know, and there's definitely times like black swan events, catalysts that cause the market to surge, stuff like that. But most of the time, news is a reaction to the markets. Like it's like a piece that the media puts out to justify price action, but price action, it's just people buying, right? Lack of selling pressure, people buying, and it's kind of crazy too, because it almost doesn't make sense, right? Because every time somebody's buying something, somebody is selling, right? But whenever you have the reason why price action moves up, and this is not a good like definition of it, but in my head, like how I think of it is just like you have order books, right? If you've got enough buying pressure to send the order books higher, that's that. It's that simple. It's nothing more complicated than that. You have enough people who want to buy at one price and not enough people who want to sell at one price. It'll keep going until that equilibrium balances out. And then you go through people taking profits. There might be more selling pressure, more buying pressure. Like it's all psychology. Like at the end of the day, what causes things to go up is our psychology. It absolutely is our psychology, I think. And the news affects our psychology, and that's why people look for news-driven events to drive prices higher or bring the market down, whatever. I'm going to post a link of this in my Discord here and on my X page, because I'm not live on my channel right now. I tried to get it all set up, and it's a pain in the ass. I don't know. I'm missing something, man. I'm telling you, I'm missing something. So I'm just gonna shoot a link on your live stream on X and on Discord, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Can you see the chat?
I can see the chat. I saw. I think it was Michael was saying hi. Michael Alberts, I think. Someone was saying hi a second ago, and then got Mod, Adam, Braveheart. What's up, Braveheart? Richie Rich, how you doing? I can see a couple people right now. I can pull up the chat. I'll probably pull up a chat in another browser here. I'm just gonna post on X real quick. Do some posts. Send these links out.
Yeah, we can chat on StreamYard, like not live as well. So if you're having problems with it, I can give you a shout on StreamYard, and we can kind of walk through it, and I can show you. You got to basically just connect your YouTube channel to StreamYard. It's really easy.
Maybe that might be what it is. Maybe I'm doing that wrong.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on what's going on with the whole? Do you think it's going to be like 2 weeks of uncertainty, or do you think that the market's just going to go? I saw that you were saying you feel like there's a potential that we've bottomed.
Yes. Well, and as I'm looking at the chart right now, we're looking like we're going to put that theory to the test. But yes, I think either we have bottomed, found a low, whatever, however you want to phrase the term, or we're very near doing so, right? I think calling that low without any kind of other information to back it up is a little bit risky, right? I'm putting my pride on the line there, but not really. Like I don't care about being right or wrong, man. It's not a big deal. But I made a play on XCN yesterday. I bought some of that, and I haven't told anybody this recently, but I actually just sold that position, that I bought yesterday. I sold it for a very small profit, like probably, if I had to guess, it was like 6% profit. Nothing crazy, nothing major, but just a little trade position. Because I think XCN, it looks like it tried to go up higher. I think it's going to go lower, so I'm just going to re-enter at a lower price. Maybe we go to that 1.23 cent price. I don't know. Right now, I am sticking with the idea that we go lower, or that we have found a low and that we don't go lower. But if we go lower, it's going to be barely, like it's going to be insignificant. My reasoning for why I think we found a low yesterday, and this is something I've been talking about days before that low actually happened, was once we break out of that, what a lot of people are calling a pennant or symmetrical triangle, I think we have a diamond top, but whatever, tomato, you can analyze and come up with different perspectives. If this is a diamond top, and I think it is, the way that diamond tops perform typically is you'll break out and then you'll go the opposite direction of the breakout very shortly after and see high velocity. It's the weekend now, so I don't anticipate anything too exciting to happen today or tomorrow, but to the upside or to the downside. But we did have that reaction. We broke down, and then we had a very positive reaction right after the breakout. I feel like the whole market is primed right now with this relative breakout. I wish I could show you my screen. Maybe there's a way. Let me see if I can do this. Let's see. Show you guys what I'm talking about here. And allow. All right, cool. And then if you can put my screen on. Yeah, okay, here we go. So Bitcoin, right? What I'm talking about is we broke out of this trend line here, this ascending trend line. You've probably seen everybody on x.com or on YouTube talk about it, right? This little like kind of ascending low trend line right here. We broke out of that. Now that everybody is convinced, okay, we've broken out of this diagonal line, which probably doesn't really matter. It's not that significant, right? The significant level is 100K, even 101K, I would say is more significant, right? That diagonal line is not what matters. This line down here, that's what matters. We haven't, as long as we hold that, and this is where I'm saying I could be wrong, right? Maybe this isn't the low. Maybe we go a little bit lower, but I don't think we'll go too much lower. We haven't broken anything that actually matters. But this gives people the impression, I think, that we're going to go lower, that all these targets below 100,000 that are at like 96 to 94K are coming to the table. And maybe they are. Maybe they are. We might go down there. It's very possible. And if Bitcoin does that, we'll be fine. You know, if there is, you know, some things that cause uncertainty in the markets, like the United States stepping in and actively attacking Iran, which Trump has said he wouldn't do. He has said he wouldn't do unless they attacked us, right? Unless they attacked our troops. And it doesn't sound like Iran wants the smoke. I mean, no. I've got my own theories on all this stuff. You know, and I can be wrong. I've been wrong about this kind of stuff before, but I don't think this is going to be as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. So therefore, I think that we're probably closer to resolution than we are to escalation. Or maybe there's a little escalation first, but that's what brings the resolution, and that should take us up higher. So even if we go below this low, it won't. I doubt that it's below this low. We'll probably find support, and we'll continue to move up higher, as it's common with, again, these diamond tops. If you're looking at it here, it's kind of an ugly pattern, but it's like, and that's how you know it's a diamond top, in my opinion. It's like an ugly diamond, and it's got these blemishes outside. That's actually very characteristic of a diamond top. You break out one direction and then you flip, you break back through the other direction. That's what I'm anticipating. So I'm not anticipating that this sends us to lower prices, but things can happen. And here's a little of my theory here. I'll stop the screen there. My theory is, and I feel like I have more proof behind this now than like a week ago when I first said this. Pakistan said that if the U.S. got involved, or if Israel like escalated the attacks, that they would step in. Like if Israel bombed Iran, that Pakistan would bomb Israel. I'm pretty sure I heard that, whether it was from the Pakistani government or sources from Pakistan. I forget what source it was. I don't have it off the top of my head. That's actually not like me. That's kind of bad. But I promise you, I'm not just making this up. I theorized that wasn't going to happen. Because if Pakistan steps in and they start getting involved, they're going to be answering to the United States, and they don't want that smoke. And I think Iran assumed that there would be backup, that they would have some backup from other countries. The only backup they've had is from the Houthis, right? And that's not another country. And their supplies are running low. I don't think they have backup, and I don't think backup's going to come. I think they're starting to see that now. And the reason why backup's not going to come is because then if anybody backs them up, the United States will get involved, and nobody wants to put that pressure on themselves. You know, that like nobody wants to be responsible for that. So I just think Iran, they fluffed their feathers a little bit. You know, they're acting tough, and not that they should. You know, Israel attacked first. I'm not trying to say that they're in the right or in the wrong. I'm just saying that I don't think that this has been handled properly, and I think that they were expecting help to come, and it's probably not going to come. And I think they're starting to see that now. I don't know. That's my theory. And we can see this because Pakistan just nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. I feel like they're buttering the bread for Trump. Like they're literally saying, hey, we support Trump. Iran might look at that and be like, hey, I thought you were going to have our backs. Now you're in support of this guy. We hate this guy. We hate America, you know, like, and maybe not every Iranian. I have Iranian friends. I know Iranian people that, like, there are good people in Iran. There are bad people in Israel. There are good people in Israel. There are bad people in Iran, you know, but just the conflict between maybe bad people on bad people is causing good people to suffer, unfortunately. And I don't think good or bad, I don't think anybody's coming to Iran's rescue personally. And I think a lot of people assume if the United States gets involved, it's going to escalate. I assume kind of different. I think if they get involved, it's probably going to be the end of that. Actually, that's kind of my thoughts. And I could be wrong. I could be. I'm not a political guy. I'm a chart monkey. You know, like I've been wrong about the world stage before. I can be wrong about it again. But that's my thoughts.
Well, for me, I mean, when people start getting all worried about this whole, you know, Iran situation, I'm like, guys, like a year ago, yeah, like a year ago, I would have been more concerned or more convinced that markets would have been more damaged by the whole Ukraine-Russia situation than I would be about this Iran situation, right?
Yes.
If they survive that, they'll survive this.
Yes. And it's not new news. Like everyone's acting, and I hate the media. And this is a prime example of it. They're like, this new war. And a week ago, you heard every title. They said it's a new war, this new war with Iran. This is a war that's been going on since before either of us, Rob, were born. This is something this isn't new. This is not a new war. And like you said, markets don't like uncertainty. Well, you know, I can, again, and this is kind of belittling it. I'm not trying to belittle what's going on, but it's like comparing it to a bad relationship in high school. You know that Tina and Joe, they're going to get back together. You know they're going to break up, on again, off again. Like it's just, whenever they get back together, you're like, how long is it going to be until they break up? They break up, you're like, all right, we'll see you together next week, you know. And it's a little bit more serious than that because you got people's lives on the line. But it's, as far as uncertainty goes, the market, I think, is answered. We're not really seeing that uncertainty. Bitcoin's close to taking out that low right now. I'm about to be either validated or invalidated. You know, it's nice. It looks like it's moving down without a whole lot of volume, but it is over the weekend, so you don't need that much volume to move down. So maybe that low will be taken out. I don't know. We might be getting set up for a double bottom here, hopefully. For my pride.
Double bottom at like 1015. Is that what you're thinking?
If we go lower, if we go lower than yesterday's low, then yes. But I was thinking more of like double bottom, like relative on the 1 hour time frame. Maybe even like a kind of triple bottom, but I don't know. Triple bottoms aren't the best to rely on. The only thing is, like, you're moving down with a very lackluster amount of volume, and every other move down we've had has had volume to back it up. So that makes me think either we've got a good bit more to go and we will go down to 101K, just below 101K, somewhere around there, or we're very close to finding support here.
Yeah, we could bounce. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. For me, it's like I always tell people, it's not where these candles wick to, it's where they close that really matters. So
absolutely, yeah, that's hard. That's a hard lesson to learn. It's easy to get excited in the meantime while they're opening.
So I was watching some of your videos there, and I'm just so apparently you hate ZBEC, I see.
Dude, I hate it. ZBEC is terrible, Rob. Come on, it's the worst crypto that exists. Are you kidding me? I can't believe you're feeding people this nonsense shill. Yeah. I'm protesting ZBEC tomorrow. I'm going to the Capitol and I'm going to protest it. I don't know.
I read some of the comments sometimes in your videos, and I can't help but laugh. I'm just like, what the hell, man? Like oh, he's just saying that because he didn't buy it. Like, what are you basing that off of? Like,
I was also saying it was going up when I didn't buy it too. You know, it's like, but you didn't have a problem with it then, right? I hated it then too, didn't I? But that's, again, like we were talking about with the news, people justify things in their own sense of logic without knowing what they're talking about sometimes. Well, I do it, sometimes, and I'm guilty of that. Nobody's perfect, but just that's one of those moments. It's like to justify their own emotions, why ZBCN can't go lower, it must be this guy's just spreading FUD. He just hates it. That's what it is. It's that simple. But oftentimes it's actually not that simple.
I think around the same time we were calling for, I'm going to put this on the screen here. We were both calling in the same time frame when we were up here in this area. right? 2063, 207, that whole range. I was here telling everybody over on the Patreon, I was like, guys, you need to be taking profits right now because we're going down. Like you don't just do this and then consolidate for 2 days and then just keep going up, right? Like,
yeah. In like peak alt season, maybe, but no, not right now where everything's being. And that's what for me, I flipped bearish actually on that bearish engulfing candle right before that last little peak. Before I flipped bearish, we considered the price would go up there, but that bearish engulfing candle, like what day was that on? Is that like that was on like the 27th of May or something like that? That's whenever I flipped bearish. But then I remained bearish even as we went up higher. I didn't time it right. If I stuck with my original call, it would have went there. But it had that bearish engulfing candle. It scared me, man. You had bearish divergence at that point too, so it kind of scared me. But even then, you can be wrong for a time and then just be convicted and trust the TA, and eventually it'll be right. Now we're below that price that I was originally bearish at too, and I was bullish all the way up until that day. So it's like I didn't hate ZBCN even when I didn't own it there, and whenever it was bullish, it did like an 8x from the all-time low to there. But yeah, it is kind of funny, man. If you guys ever want to entertain yourselves, just watch any ZBCN video from like the last 2 weeks that I've made. Go through the comments. You've probably got some of those too if you've been talking about the price going down.
Dude, I got like assaulted when I said ZBEC was going down. Holy smokes, man. People were in the comments like, this guy literally doesn't know what he's talking, or doesn't know anything. I'm like, well, first of all, you just used the word literally wrong, but okay, you're gonna call me stupid and then incorrectly use a word, but all right.
And you, to my knowledge, and I give you props on this regularly when I talk about ZBCN, maybe not my like last 2 videos, but regularly. Rob, you're the guy that's been talking about ZBCN for months before this pump happened. You were bullish on it at the highs, you were bullish on it at the lows, and this whole accumulation range that you're in for like a year, you were bullish on it. And it's
there was this range right here.
Yeah.
We accumulated through this over on the Patreon. We were in a full accumulation mode through all of that.
Yeah.
And then boom. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's, that actually people have been asking me to ask your opinion on Natics.
Natics.
Another gem that we started collecting about 4 or 5 months ago. They're partnered with Tesla and all that stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I actually didn't know that, or maybe I did. I do remember that. Yes, I do remember that. But there's just so many projects, man. Let me. I forgot to post this in my Discord. I'm going to post it in my Discord. Hold on. I'm going to tell people that I'm live.
Absolutely.
Jump to present.
Yeah, they're like replacing Google Maps, which is funny because they're actually partnered with Google to do this. So I think at some point their cameras are going to kind of replace Google Maps, and they're going to have a better version of basically Google Maps, right? So,
talking about Tesla.
No, Natics. They're partnered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're partnered with Tesla, with Amazon, with Google, with Circle. Like, they have all of these massive partnerships. That's what I'm saying. Like, sleeping giant, man.
What is Natics in your own? Because I'm a chart guy. I don't look at the fundamentals. You're the fundamental guy. Tell me about the fundamentals, and I'll tell you what I see in the charts.
Yeah, so like I was saying, that's what they do. Their technology. They have a specific device that is designed for. I'll show you here. It's literally designed for Tesla vehicles, right? In their partnership with Tesla, and then they also have cameras you can put into any vehicle. I'll show you here on the screen. And what it does is it basically maps from a street angle everything that's going on and updates you in real time, whether there's construction or accidents or whatever the case might be. So it's Google Maps, like Web3 Google Maps.
On the blockchain.
Yeah,
cool.
Look at their partners like XYO, Google, NVIDIA, Amazon, Peak, Grab Maps, Solana.
Makes sense. They'd partner with XYO, like geotagging. That was XYO's big thing whenever they first started. So yeah, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, and they designed the VX360 for Teslas as well. So
it sounds interesting. Whenever I hear partnerships, I think a lot, and I'll get into this point in a second. But when I hear partnerships, I don't really think too much about it. I do like Tesla. I do like, Google. These are big companies, right? And if you're partnered with them, that's pretty cool. But you know, partnerships don't necessarily have to mean anything, right? You know IBM, the company IBM, right?
Yep.
They partnered with a cryptocurrency called credits, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more than that. Credits at the time had the valid proven record for the fastest transactions, 1 million transactions in a second per second. They had like the fastest transactions or whatever. They proved it on their blockchain, and they partnered with IBM. Have you ever heard about credits? Anybody in here? Have you heard about credits? Yeah, that's my point. That's my point. And I put a lot of money into credits, man. I'm thinking, oh, credits. It makes sense. Digital currency in the movies, they call them credits. You're always in the future. You're always dealing with credits, right? Like it's not U.S. dollars. And they had me, and they had all these partnerships, man. They're making like 30 partnerships or more a year with various companies. And have you ever heard of credits? Like that's my, so that Natics, that's exciting. And Tesla, I think, is a big deal. And that you definitely seem like you're partnering with the right people. But that in itself might not be enough to validate, this thing. But I don't know. Let me look at the chart. I mean, it looks good. The chart looks good.
Let's say, what do you think the chart looks like for the short term and long term, in your opinion?
Let me see, because you're only on so what I like about it, first off, I like that you're not on too many exchanges. You've got to get on Coinbase. You're not on Bybit. You're not on Binance. That gives you a lot of room for some of the most bullish driven news events are those three big exchange listings, right? You're only on KuCoin, Mexi, CoinEx, Gate.io, and Orca. You're not really on anything. And maybe you're on some other exchanges, like smaller exchanges, but those are like the primary exchanges you're on. You've pumped up a good bit. I like that. I like to see that. Let me look at KuCoin here real quick. What I don't like is the lack of volume that you have. But to be fair, moving down, which you're moving down a little bit right now, there's not really that much volume. That's not a bad thing, right? You want to move up with volume, and it looks like you actually did move up with volume. You want to move down without it. I think the chart looks good. It almost looks like, and I can actually share this right now here. Let me get that. Bam. And here we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, should be good. Okay. So looking at it now, it almost looks like it's a descending triangle, right? Like you've got this flat base and then descending lows like this, volume's dying off. You're going to break out one direction or the other. Descending triangles are typically bearish patterns, but bearish patterns don't perform as well in bullish trends. I don't know if you're in a bullish trend or not. I mean, you look at this on a weekly time frame, you're kind of just in a consolidation phase. But relative to the daily time frame, I would say you are in a bullish trend. So the odds of you breaking out, I would say, are less likely than they normally would be to the downside. The fact that you're moving down and volumes decreasing, you definitely have some kind of breakout coming your way. But if we're looking at this from a relative low to relative high, grinding out the 382 like that, I would assume that you do go lower. Probably. I mean, maybe you go back to the golden ratio, but even if you were to go all the way down there, and the one thing I have an issue with calling for a price that low is it seems like it's a bit dramatic. I mean, 26% market cap's 19 million. I guess it could happen. It could happen. I'm not saying, by the way, guys, I'm not saying that you will go down to 3088, 3008. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's where your golden ratio is. If you look at this here, where this golden ratio is, you draw a line kind of like right through there. You can see that there's prior areas of resistance here and there, right? You've got resistance there, even prior resistance back here. It's somewhat significant. So if you were to complete the thought of this descending triangle and go down to your golden ratio, that wouldn't be a bad area to find support. It's very possible that you could go up from here. And I think, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're looking to buy, it's probably at a good time to DCA, but don't throw the whole bag into it. Looking at the RSI, I mean, you could do either thing right now. It's really like a coin flip. I want to lean to the bullish side. I want to lean to the idea that you break out bullishly only if Bitcoin holds its low. It doesn't have to hold this low, as long as it holds this low at 100K. If Bitcoin goes below 100K and we see prices that are down at that like 96 to 93K area, then it would make a lot of sense for Natics to go down here. And there's a lot of sense to be made for Bitcoin to go below 100K. And in sense, there's a lot of sense here. But my my theory, my belief is that we won't do that. So then I have a hard time seeing anything, even a low cap coin, dropping that much. So maybe drop to the 0.5. Another thing is with bearish patterns, they can break out to the downside, but they might not perform as intended because they're in a bullish trend still, right? If you're in a bullish trend, it hurts the likelihood of it breaking out, and it also hurts the likelihood that it will perform as intended. And I don't know what the measure move would be. Let's just look real quick. I mean, maybe from that high to this low here, the measure move would take you down right to about that golden ratio. Maybe the performance is hurt because you're in an overall bullish kind of environment with the market right now. Regardless if Bitcoin goes down a little bit more or whatever, we're going to be ripping and running here over the weeks to come. I don't know. My thoughts on Natics, I'm just beating around the bush. My thoughts on it, the chart looks good right now. I actually do think the chart looks good. You're consolidating up here, but you've kind of consolidated up here before and you went all the way down. I don't anticipate that you're going to come all the way back down in this range. What you're looking for now is a signal that something different is happening here than it did here, right? You want to see something different going on. Maybe something different like stronger readings in the RSI, new all-time high closes, stuff like that, right? A lack in volume as you're coming down. Instead of as you're moving down here, you can see the volume is kind of slowly picking up actually, right? Like, let's see. If you like zoom in, you can see the volume it kind of decays at first, but then it starts to pick up as you're dropping down. So, I mean, again, we're at that point where we haven't really broken out yet. Maybe it's not fair to say. I don't know. To make it completely confusing, it could do either, man. I really don't know, honestly. My opinion right now is as long as you're holding this area, this prior resistance area here, if you're holding 0011, 0012, that area as support, you can wick below it, but as long as you're holding it as support on a weekly closing time frame or a multi-day closing time frame, I think that you're fine. There's nothing to worry about. I might even say you really might be at a low point here and might reverse right from here, moving up.
So what you're saying is like a $5 Natics.
Yes, no, at least 10.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as potential goes for growth, if you guys want to talk about that, I mean, these low market caps, man, 19.23 million, fully diluted valuation is 119 million. So it's very undiluted. You have a lot of coins that have yet to hit the market as far as circulating supply goes. But even if it was fully diluted right now, you still have 100x potential with that, let alone from here. You know what I mean? Like 100x from here would be $2 billion. Tokens will probably get unlocked in that time. So it'll the market cap might 100x before the price does. But again, I don't know the fundamentals.
They also have a token burn mechanism as well. So
that's good. But I'm sure like a lot of these things, the token burn is probably not significant, right? That's like XCN. It's nice that there is a token burn, but it's kind of insignificant. Like the token, the supply that gets put into the market's greater than the burn is anyways, like month to month. So like it's going to be inflationary. I don't know though. I don't know enough about the tokenomics. So I'm trying to see here.
One of the things I always teach my people over on the Patreon is when you're looking at the tokenomics, I mean, especially in the time frame we're in right now, where you're probably only going to be holding your crypto for another 5 or 6 months, let's say, right? So for me, the amount of tokens being released is only relevant to the time frame I'm going to be holding the token. So I usually will just look up how many tokens are going to be unlocked, for example, in the next 5 months, and then I'm not going to be holding it anymore. Then I don't give a shit, right?
Yeah. No, that's right there. That is prime logic. Anybody hear that? If you didn't hear that, replay that, clip that, because I think the same way, man. That's exactly what you should be thinking. Because whenever those unlocks happen, no matter how bullish you are, no matter what fabricated reasons that are, even if they're based in reality, when there's token unlocks, that creates selling pressure. It always does. Absolutely, it always does. Natics came out when? July 2024. So it's been almost 12 months, right? Almost 12 months. Let's see. When did it come out? It was, July. So almost 12 months that it's been out. I'm looking at the tokenomics here. So the team and advisors, 20%. They have a 9-month cliff followed by a 30-month linear vest, right? So 9-month cliff, that means what? Like those tokens don't get unlocked until 9 months later. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
And then it gets unlocked after 9 months, and it's a 30-month linear vest. So for the last few months, these team advisor tokens have been unlocked, but it's a 30-month period overall that gets unlocked. So that's longevity. That's the team. That's nice. They're getting a little bit of something after the first 9 months, but their full vested amount doesn't get released until 30 months later, which if we're at 12 months now, that's like years from now. So that'll be like at the bottom of the bear market or even after that, which is kind of nice.
Perfect timing.
37% for the community. That's good. Yeah. DEX liquidity. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Early backers, right? That's what I always love whenever they say team and advisors and they say early backers. It's the same thing. They're part of your team. They're your financial team. They might not be doing the programming, but yeah, the wordplay. Public sale, reserve, allocation unlock at TGE followed by 40. Okay, so 48-month linear vesting, 6-month linear vesting. So this is already, the public sale's already been unlocked, or they've already all been unlocked. Early backers, 6-month cliff followed by 20-month vesting. So a good bit of these tokens will still be locked. Okay, and then slowly the biggest hoard here, released based on product usage slowly over lifetime. So I don't mind that as far as tokenomics goes. Yes, there will be unlocks happening. The circulating supply will increase between now and the end of the year, or even going into 2026. But with a market cap like this, you guys, and with the partnerships that you have, like I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying you could see a $2 billion market cap. You could see a $20 billion market cap. Like this thing could be 1,000xable. It really could be. Honestly, I want to look more into it now, like genuinely. And I know a lot of people have been asking about it, but and maybe they're asking about it because of you, Rob, because I know you got that alpha. But that's my thoughts. It could do really well. The coins that see multi-hundred X's, that see 1,000x's, they don't start off at $100 million market cap. So I mean, maybe 100 million they do for like 100x, but for 1,000x, you start off low. You got to start off low, and then they have these rocky beginnings where, like this one did, man. I mean, it dropped twice from a high to a low. It dropped like 70% twice. We're looking for something different now to show that you're ready to break out, and I think you're going to get that this time. That's why I think at the lowest you'll go to 3088, 3088, 3087, somewhere in there at the lowest. You're at 2012 right now. So something between now and then, you might go lower. I wouldn't be surprised if you went lower, but the upside outweighs the downside risk, in my opinion, just looking at it.
Oh yeah, the risk reward. We got into this at about a $6 million market cap over on the Patreon.
Nice.
Yeah. We rode it up quite a ways. We had that good pump, and then we took profits. Some people took profits, and now we're back into accumulation mode. Well, it's kind of where it is. But sentiment in the market is another thing that I kind of wanted to touch on, and it's, you get these people saying we've topped and stuff like that. And I talked about this, I think, a week or two ago, just about new people don't understand that like sentiment in this market drives it, like you were saying, right? And when we've topped, like I literally, I see some of these bigger YouTube channels calling like this one banter, right? Every once in a while I watch banter. It's like every night he's saying, oh, we've topped, and then it blows like the wind, and then he's saying But anyway, he was calling. It's like basically every time he says the market's going in one direction, it pretty much goes in the opposite. So, I kind of watch that, and it's funny, but the general sentiment in the market, and I think you would agree with me on this because you've been here for a while, is not, when we've topped, 50 to 60% of the market sentiment is not bearish. Everyone's not in like agreement that we've topped when we've actually topped, right?
Right. Exactly. People are euphoric. The majority of the market thinks there's no way. Like if you hear people right now who are like, you're dumb for thinking we're bullish, we've definitely topped. That's not bull top behavior. That's not how it works. No, that's when you continue to run. Typically, I mean, this is my third bull cycle. What do I know? But the last two times, it's whenever people are so bullish that there's no way in hell this could be the top. That's whenever we go down. That's yeah. And we don't have that. That's not the sentiment right now. No way. No. We've gotten nowhere near that. And there are sentiment indicators, and we haven't seen any of them flash. We haven't seen any of them suggest that we're at the top either.
Yeah,
that's what's nice about. Sorry.
And it works the exact same way for the bottom as well, right? Like when we've bottomed, I remember when Bitcoin was $15,000. You had some of the biggest YouTube channels out there, no word of a lie, telling people to sell at 15,000 and sell everything and buy back in at 9 because I was like, I'm buying everything at 15 because it's feeling real bottomy here. Right?
Nice. Yeah, I definitely didn't call the bottom perfectly, but I was bullish like before. I feel like when I was bullish, let's see, I flipped bullish above 20K, but below 30K, right in that range there. I was still kind of convinced that we could go a little bit lower than 15K, one last drop, maybe down to about 13K, but we didn't get that. We ripped, and then that's what I had to have that conviction, that consolidation phase right there. Once we were at like 26, 25K, that's whenever I flipped bullish or somewhere around there, I want to say.
Yeah. Which is pretty close to I mean, we were not at 15 for long. I think it was only a couple of weeks, like if that. But
there's some people.
Yeah, to have people actively like advising people, sell your bag, sell everything, buy back in at 9. We're going down to 9. I'm like, man, like it doesn't matter even if it does go to 9, it doesn't matter. 15, 9, man, you're splitting hairs, right? Like,
yeah. The time to sell was 70K, 60K, not 15K, not sub 20K. No, not the prior cycle's all-time highs and below. That's not the time to sell. And that's something, guys, if you're listening to this part, that this is a strategy. It's like a mental strategy. What we're talking about right now is even if it does go lower, who cares? Right? Like if you're at the point, the market, you've been in a bear market for a year, you're at low points, the lowest points of the market, and I don't care how convinced you are that it's going to go lower. You still don't sell out completely. You don't exit the market, right? It's good to DCA. Don't let go of your positions because at that point, you're closer to the bottom, if not at the bottom, than you are to going some kind of dramatic price down. That would make a difference, right? Like you hold anybody who sold, even if you sold at 26K, let's say you sold at 30K and the price went down to 15K, you probably felt so smart. But then whenever it ripped back up to like 32K, you might have panic bought and you actually bought at a higher price if you didn't seize the day down there. It's this whole mental game. And the best way to avoid this mental game with yourself is to just understand the risk to reward. Even if we go lower, what happens when we move higher? Oh, the higher move eclipses this lower move, then I'm not selling. That's the logic that I use with the Onyx coin. That's why I'm holding through a lot of these dips, but we accumulate more, man. We just accumulate more, and it works out. As time goes on, it works out. And that's also with XYO. I made my video earlier. I was talking about it pumping. I caught it like right within an hour that it was pumping there. And I was saying I wouldn't buy this thing. Like, no offense, I think it looks good. I think it might continue, but I wouldn't buy this thing until it's back below 1 cent, maybe just below 1 cent. And it ripped up higher. I haven't even looked at the comments, but I'm sure, went up to 1.2 cents. I'm sure there's people who are laughing at me at 1.2 cents, but I wouldn't buy it until it's below 1 cent. It looks like it's about to go there right now. Like you can't get emotional to the downside or to the upside. You need to be composed and just when those moments come, whenever it is time to buy, take the moment. Don't pussyfoot around. Just seize the day. Get on it. You know what I mean? And if you're scared, just hold and buy more. In time, the sun will shine. I don't know. I'm rambling, doing that thing I do.
Absolutely. I always tell people, like, I get asked on a nightly basis, man, like, what I got, I got $1,000 or I got $5,000. What should I do? Should I put it all in? I'm like, man, like neither one of us gives financial advice, as everybody knows. But at the same time, no, for me personally, like I peck away like a duck, man. Like every single day, just a little bit. Yeah, like
I like that.
It's like bam, 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 every day. I might not ape in all at the bottom, but I will hit the bottom for some of it at that point, right? In the range as well. So that's the best strategy in my opinion. I see too many people over the years trying to find shortcuts and cheat their way through the market and outsmart it, and I'm just like, you can't outsmart the market, man.
That's something I like to say too. The fastest way to lose money is to try to make it fast. The fastest way to make money is try to do it slow. You'll be surprised at how fast you make money. You won't be surprised at how fast you lose money. After you try to make it fast, you're like, what? Of course. Like I knew that this would happen. Like every time, man. Anytime you try this risky stuff, you try to make it fast. It bites you in the ass. Maybe 1 out of 10 times it does it, or maybe even 5 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times it works out for you. But then the one time it doesn't, it cleans you out of any of those correct times. Like, it's just, don't be risky. Just, and especially if you're inexperienced. If you have experience, this is your, if you've been doing this for 5 years or more, or maybe even like 8 years or more, okay, you've got a little experience. Maybe you can finesse things, but you also at that point have some risk management built into you. You're probably not going to finesse things with a large bag, right? It's like, this is your life savings. You're investing. It's your life savings. Treat it like that. It's a serious thing. This isn't a game. And in crypto, you're on X.com, you're on YouTube. Everybody's talking about it like it's a game. There's people losing millions of dollars that are laughing it off, and here you are crying about losing your $5,000, which is your life savings, right? It gamifies this trading attitude, and it's like, this is even if it is $1,000, $5,000, your life savings is $500. I don't know what you're doing. Your life savings is $500, but whatever you got, there's no shame. But don't gamble your life savings. You gamble. If you go to Vegas, you're not bringing your life savings with you. There's one guy that did that, and it worked out for him. Actually, he put it all in red, and it actually worked out for him. I don't know if you know what video I'm talking about. No. There was a guy that he had like $50,000 saved up. It was like all his effort, all his life savings. He was in his like 30s, and everybody was gathered around him, man. And he put it all in red, I think, or maybe it was all in black. I forget, one of the two. And he hit, and it won. And people talk about their wins too. We don't know what happened after that. Did he piss the rest of it away gambling? Was that a good experience? So it encouraged more experiences like that? Like, it takes one wrong moment to just lose any kind of good moments that come your way. And that's to hedge against that. You got to treat it like a job, treat it serious. Don't be doing heavy leverage, guys. Don't be like 10x. People talk about 10x like it's low. Low leverage is 1x, 2x, right? Spot trading, that's low leverage. Don't do anything. If you're new to the markets, I don't care if you have 100x capabilities on leverage, keep it at a 5x at the most. You'll still lose money. But you'll at least, it won't be as bad. You won't lose money on like a 1 or 10% move. But yeah.
Well, we get all the time people ask me, well, because occasionally we'll do a swing trade over on the Patreon and community and stuff, so every day I get people asking, what swing trades are out there right now? I'm like, you have to treat it like a boat on a river, man. You have to let it come to you. You can't. The minute you try to start forcing swing trades and stuff like that, you start finding them where they're not, and then you get wrecked, right? So,
and it's obvious after the fact. Like, in the moment, you're caught up in your emotions, you don't notice it. But if you reflect, you self-reflect, you might screw yourself up a couple times, but maybe more than a couple times. But you'll learn from it. As long as you're learning from it, you're getting better, and you're determined to get better, you will learn from it, right? But if you just think, oh, the market's a scam, oh, Rob doesn't know what he's talking about, oh, I didn't do it right this way, I'm going to get it right the next, maybe that's actually the right thinking. Think about what you did wrong. Think about and notice. It's so easy to notice after the fact, not during the moment, but after the fact, your level of emotions. And then if you ever have emotions, it makes sense, right? If you're financially investing, if you're gambling and it's all based on emotion, you're probably going to get wrecked. But if you do it from a place that's not emotionally backed, it's all part of your plan, your strategy. If you don't have a strategy, then maybe you shouldn't be doing it, right? You're more likely to succeed. Even if you fail, as long as you don't let that get to your emotions, you're more likely to succeed over time. And it's a time game. It's not every moment doesn't matter. It's the conglomerate of the moments that matters.
Well, I think that one of the downsides to meme coins in the market is exactly that. Like you said earlier, you only hear about wins, right? You hear about the guy who put $800 in the market and now he's got 8 million, right? But you don't hear about the hundreds of thousands of people who got wrecked for him to make that $8 million. Right?
And they're all buying the top where he's selling. And good for the people who make that money. That's kind of sad too, right? Like every dollar you make is a dollar from somebody else. I like to think I'm taking it away from the institutions, not from my viewers or from anybody else, right? But I've had people who told me, damn it, I sold right whenever I say I bought, and it's like, I probably just bought your coins that you just sold. You know what I mean? Like that. It's like bittersweet, But you live and you learn, or you don't and you die. So don't die. Live and learn. Okay. Keep learning, keep living.
Well, that's what I say. What do you think? This is a game of probabilities, right? So is it more probable that you're going to be the guy who got the $8 million or the guy who lost everything, right? Like,
exactly.
So let's get into a couple of questions here before we kind of wrap it up. AF. You can read. You can see the screen, right?
Yeah, yeah. What's up, Af? How you doing, brother? Click the like button. Play. Maybe he meant to say please.
Please, probably. Here we
Shout
go.
out to Af. Is Moodang cooked? I don't think so. I mean, man, you see how crazy that pump was. That was a crazy pump. Let's hear. I'll share my screen again. We can get it on there. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Should be good now. Yeah. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So Moodang here. I mean, obviously, yeah, you've taken a huge. It looks like you're doing well, right? It looks like you're doing well. But if you bought the top, which you look at the volume here, the big spike in volume happened up here. You had another big spike in volume. Like most people bought the top, absolutely. Talking about the guy that put $10 in here and he made a killing. You're down 62%. This is normal, man. This is very normal. 60, as harsh as it is, 60% drops after a big move like that. I mean, that's very, very normal, right? I don't think this is a problem. I think Moodang, it's been a big meme throughout this whole cycle. It really has been a big meme throughout this whole cycle. And I thought it was done for. I didn't think that it was a big deal back here. But this kind of reaction, I think you have more growth to go. I definitely think that you've got more. Let's look at something with more history to it, right? Like this. I don't think that this is it. I think that you do continue. But here's my thoughts, right? I think you'll continue going down, probably to the 382. You're at about 13 cents now. You probably go down just below 12 cents. You might even go right down to about 11 cents, even below there. Like, it's very common in strong moves to bounce right off the 382. It's also somewhat common to go just below the 382. So don't get discouraged if you do go below 11.7 cents. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if you went right there. I'm putting myself in the mind of anybody looking at this chart right now, and it's probably very obvious as to what kind of chart pattern this is. This is a bull flag, right? No doubt about it. You measure it, you take your low to high, or your low to high, and then you measure the move. What, 11.7 cents? Is that where we were saying it goes? Something right around there, right? The measure move would take you to new all-time highs. I wouldn't be surprised if we fell short of this. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we fell short of this. And actually what we do is we probably stop right around the all-time highs, if not even get just above there. So is Moodang cooked? No, I think it's got a lot of room to run. Is it going to make this same run next time and then the time after? Is this the only way that it's moving? Is it going to get bigger or do Dogecoin-like things, what Dogecoin did last cycle? I don't think so. The only reason it pumped so much is because down here, nobody was probably thinking about it, right? Nobody was thinking it was a good play. They thought it was dead in the water, and that's why it pumped. Now that it's on everyone's radar, I still expect it to do well, but it probably won't do as well as people are hoping it does. That's my expectation, because meme coins, guys, they're built on hopes and dreams, and the market is not meant to cater to your hopes and dreams. Let's just leave it at that. It's more meant to shit all over them, actually, is what it's meant to do.
Yeah. So
but
Red
no,
Hole.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think it's cooked, Mike M. I don't think it's cooked. I think it's cooking, and it's going to shake and bake. You're going to pull it out. It's going to be a nice little cake at the all-time highs there. It'll be good. It'll be quite scrumptious, but not right now. I think if you wait a little bit, wait till it's below 12 cents, or what was it, 1.2 cents? What is it? Yeah, 12 cents. Wait till it's below 12 cents, and not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I bet it comes back. I bet it sees new all-time highs. Even if you bought the recent highs, I bet you'll be okay.
Red Hulk here asking about one of both yours and mine favorites.
Oh, hell yeah. Gotta love Cookie Dow, man.
Yeah, you've been. Have you done any videos today or yesterday on Cookie? What did it look like to you?
I did. I actually think right now, guys, Cookie's right at the area I might buy. So I mentioned, and you guys are the only people that know right now, I haven't actually posted it on X. I normally post on X whenever I make these plays, but I didn't make the post. I sold X, so I bought XCN right on yesterday's low. I didn't buy it at the low, but I had like a 6% profit. I'm looking at it. I think it's going to come down. We're at 1.4 cents now. I sold it at like 1.43 cents. Okay. I bought Bitcoin Cash is what I did. I bought some BCH. It was between Bitcoin Cash and Cookie Dow whenever I bought it. And Bitcoin Cash is actually down a little bit too. It probably would have been better holding cash. But I'm thinking about swapping that Bitcoin Cash for Cookie, because I think Cookie is actually right at the area that you'd look for it to find support. I'm looking at the chart right now, guys. I really think, and I did make a video on it earlier, we're literally right at the area in that video that I was talking about is finding support. And I'm looking, let me look at the 15-minute time frame. Volume's dying off as we're moving down. You've got bullish divergence, the whole shebang. Stochastics look good. I might swap into Cookie Dow right now. That's what I'm going to do. So what do I think about Cookie Dow? Yeah, I'm going to buy some Harrison Ford. I'm going to buy some Cookie Dow right now, man. That XCN that I bought yesterday, I sold it for Bitcoin Cash. I'm going to sell that Bitcoin Cash and buy some Cookie Dow right now. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I think about. Yeah.
There's one other one that you got to look at for us. Myria.
Okay.
There's another one we got into early on the Patreon. So.
Okay, I'll share the screen here just because I didn't make a video on this, so let's see.
I thought I saw you make one like a week ago or so.
Maybe about a week. I've recently, yes, but not as recent as some of these other ones we've talked about. Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Myria. Let me make my play here first, guys. Okay. Time is of the essence. You guys are gonna start buying, right? I gotta make my play too. Here, hold on.
They're gonna buy. Yeah, the price of cookies about to pump.
Yeah, man. Hopefully not. Hopefully some people panic sell that aren't watching this stream. Let's see. I'm putting my sell order in for Bitcoin Cash right now.
You should have said no. It's going down.
I used to only do limit orders, guys, but now there's so much liquidity on some of these things. You can really just hit the market, and it's not that bad. It's actually, market orders used to suck. They used to take 5 to 10% of what you were buying. I would never do it, but nowadays I actually just hit that market order hard. I'm probably going to hit a market order with Cookie. Yeah, I'm just going to do it right now. Hitting it.
I think I saw you do one with Jasmine a while back as well. Believe it or not, I actually have Hara coming on the channel in the coming weeks for an interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
He agreed to do an interview for the channel because so many of us over on the Patreon bought the nodes for Junction. So he's like, yeah, well. So I'm like, I asked, and I was expecting him to either say no or completely ignore me altogether, and he ended up saying, yeah.
Your shot. Yeah. That's awesome, Rob. Hell yeah, that'll be cool, man. Yeah, you guys see Cookie? It's coming up right now. I literally just bought. That's why it's coming up. You see this? I just bought. No, I don't know. Probably I'm like a small portion of that probably. But I've learned as the channel's gotten bigger, if I say I'm going to buy something, I got to do it right then because you guys are relentless, man. You will, yeah. Oh, it'll, and then it goes down afterwards. But looking at Myria, who are we doing Myria for?
For all of us, I suppose. Somebody asked, but I lost it.
All right. Well, we're doing it for somebody who asked.
Yeah, I learned that lesson the hard way on Natics because I've done that to myself a few times over on the Patreon. I'll mention a brand new gem to them that like, hey guys, I'm going to be taking a position on this, and I tell them before I take a position, and then I look and the charts go. I'm like, damn it! Right?
Yeah, that's how it is. But that's cool too. I'd rather people get in before me. I feel better. And I like Crypto Banter. I like a lot of these big YouTube accounts. I think they have different. They have different kind of moral structure than we do, maybe, or they see things differently than we do with this kind of stuff. But I see these guys and they brag about getting in at the low, right? They brag about it, but they only brag about it once the price is up here. They don't tell you they bought here. They only tell you once it's up here.
Yeah.
I feel better. I think you probably are the same way, right? Whenever the price is up here and I'm like, man, I remember I was talking about buying here. You guys told me you bought. I bought. I love it whenever I hear about people who bought at lower prices than I do. I really, really do. And oftentimes I do tell people, even if I buy, I like to buy ahead of time. So if you wait, you probably get in at a cheaper price. When people tell me that they bought a cheaper price than I did, that's the best. That's the best, man. Because then we're all making money together. I'm not making money off of you. I don't know. I feel better about it myself, but I don't know, man. I'm being silly right now.
I agree. That's one of the reasons I generally will tell my community that I'm going to buy something before I buy it, because then I can't be accused of, well, you bought it and then you told everyone, and no, I bought it after. I bought it higher than I wanted to, right?
How many subscribers you got now, Rob? 13.5. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. For me, I was the same way, but once it hit 30, I had to stop. I had to stop like doing that. Like, it's not that I'll tell people now. I will tell people right whenever I buy. Right, like I'll buy and I'll make a post immediately. But I'm not. I don't like make a post and then talk about it afterwards. I don't want to do that. But man, it really is different. Like because if you say something like a day or two before, even if what if the price goes lower? Like what if you talk about it, right? You want to buy it here. You're talking about wanting to buy it here, and then your community sends it up here. So then you wanting to buy it, the YouTuber talking about it, you buy the high now, and then everybody's screwed anyways, right? Like it's just I don't know. I would at least like to buy the relative low. So I've changed my perspective on that. Like at 30,000 subs and on, I've just like started to I'll make a purchase and then I post right afterwards. Or I'll make a sell and I post right afterwards.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about XCN because, to be completely fair, I don't know if we go lower, and I think people are better off just holding. Even if we do go lower, are better off just holding because we're again that 15K Bitcoin versus 10K Bitcoin. It's not a big deal. So what if we drop to 10K? We're about to rip through the roof. You know what I mean? It's people are probably better not following in my footsteps with these little trades. But I did essentially just transfer XCN for Cookie. That's what we're doing right now. So if anybody is watching this and they bought XCN yesterday, I'm probably going to swap this Cookie back into XCN. I'll probably buy once XCN goes back lower. I probably will buy. Like I think that we might be going down below 1.3 cents. I'm not 100% sure, but we might take out that low. And if we do, I'll swap back into it from Cookie. But Cookie's right at an area where I think it's going to find support. Where XCN looks like it found support, now it's coming down. You know, I hope I'm making sense there. I hope I'm making sense. But anyways, Myria, low to high. You tipped the 1272. You tipped it perfectly, man. You absolutely tipped it perfectly. That's a great area to find support. Typically with the 1272, whenever you go to the 1272, 1414, you will pull back to the 886, 786 area, and that's exactly what you did. You actually closed below the 886, so it's a little bit more bearish than bullish, I suppose. You're getting a bearish engulfing candle on this week. What we're looking for is something productive, okay? You're looking productive to the downside. So what we want to look for is something productive to the upside. Either you find a higher low and take out this high, or at the very least, don't go lower than that 1272, right? Double bottom, higher low. And looking at this here where you are, I don't think you're even going to go down there, right? I don't think you're going to drop 50% from here. So no. that is the low. And without validation, I think reasonable deduction would suggest that you have found your low and you're ready to go higher. Corrective phases tend to be 1, 2, 3-legged moves down, and that's exactly what you have here. That was your corrective move from this move up here, right? And I would think that now you're breaking out of your downtrend, you're testing the waters, and then your next move up, as fun as this move was, how big was that? Let's see. As fun as this one was from a low to a high, 315%, I bet the next move will be bigger. I absolutely bet the next move will be bigger. And the fact that you're at the 100 right now, you could find support here. You might go lower. We'll look at that in a second. But where you go as far as highs go, I bet you go up to 0.006 to about 1 cent, maybe just below 1 cent or right there. If not, all the way back to your all-time highs. Like you've got minimum 5x potential, if not even like over 13x potential from the current price, let alone if it goes lower. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. Dropping. Do we have anything with volume on it? Let's go to Bybit. We'll do Bybit. Yeah, so volume's picking up as you're moving down. You don't like to see that. Oh, but hey, you got a nice little wick there. What about the 15-minute time frame? I think you go lower. I'm sorry.
Is that little tiny green one?
little tiny, just a little guy. It's the little things though, man. What's Bitcoin doing right now? Did Bitcoin go below its low yesterday? Is my pride forsaken? I think it might be.
It did, yeah.
Is it below?
It's not right now.
Below. Just below. We went just below there. The bears get the last laugh. The trolls get the last. Wouldn't it be great if we double bottom? Man, if Bitcoin double bottoms right here, guys, look at the lack of volume we have. I mean, it is picking up a little bit, but compared to that drop, I wouldn't be surprised if we held this as support right here. We're on the weekend. I don't expect big things to the downside or the upside to happen, but it's just people are bored, and I think the market makers know this. But anyways, Myria might be at a good price to buy on that note. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes lower, but it might be at a good price to buy. Let me see. We did the low to high. Let's do the high to low. Let's do that. High or low to high here. We'll do that one. The lowest that I could see this thing going to, because again, I don't think you'll go below that low. You are just below the 0.5 now. Maybe you do drop another 12% to 20%, maybe, but don't hold your breath on that. Right? 3096, 3086, something like that could be where you find support. But in all fairness, you've got lower lows in your RSI, right? Like compared to this last low here or this last low, I guess actually you are below that low there. You don't have hidden bullish divergence, I guess, but you are, I don't know, man. You look at it, it looks like you're lower, right? And you've got higher lows. That's not a bad thing. You're very near, you're at prior areas of resistance here. You might go a little bit lower. I have a hard time seeing you get below anything below 3086. You're at 2011 now. So at the most you drop there. If I was looking to buy this, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, I would think that this is a perfect area to get in. Maybe DCA, put like 10% in here. If it goes up, whatever, wait, see if it comes back down. If it goes a little bit lower, put 20% in there. If it works its way down, then you throw the hammer down. If none of that happens, if it takes out this 382, then you just lay the hammer down there. I don't know. But then if that doesn't sound good to you, you don't want to risk it. You'd rather just buy here instead of risking buying up here because this lower price is not promised. Maybe just buy here. I don't know. It's up for you to decide. I like to layer things down. And oftentimes, just speaking personally, whenever I buy something, if I buy at like a 10% increment at first and then I wait a day or two, it's oftentimes at a lower price the next day. And I put another 10% or I put 20% in the next day. And I think it's best to DCA not with a heavy hand at first, but with a light hand at first. And you get heavier and heavier and heavier. It's kind of like gambling, right? Like if you're doing the doubling down strategy, like I don't know if anybody does that with like roulette. Like you bet $5 on black, and then it hits red. So then you bet $10 on black, then it hits red again. Then you hit $20 on black. You just double down each time. You start with a low amount of money. You hope you're wrong, so that by the time you're betting like hundreds of dollars at a time, the probability that it'll just it can hit. I've seen things hit red 20 times in a row, and then you're in trouble. But typically that's not what happens, right? And this, if you're DCAing down, you're doubling down. You might be hitting black. It might be hitting red 4 or 5 times in a row. But odds are, after that fourth time, that third time, you are going to get that outcome that you're looking for, and you probably will move up. I don't believe that you have too much lower to go. All that to say, poor analogies aside, I don't think you have too much lower to go. I would think that you go up higher. Let's look at this real quick on the all-time history again. Whenever you go back up, where are you going to go from a high to a low? 382 down to the 236. I don't like that look, to be completely fair, but I don't hold it against you. You're still doing better than most cryptos right now, so I'm going to assume that you continue to do better than most cryptos. Right? Most cryptos didn't pump last week. Most cryptos are not even up 50% from their lows in April. You are, so that's and more than that even. I would assume at a minimum, Miria, you go up to 205, 206. There's a good chance that you go all the way up to about 2086 to 1.2 cents. And this is like end of July targets, right? You could go higher, but let's keep it at like this all-time high area. I don't think you see new all-time highs in July, but I do think that you'll be above 0047 and as high as 1.2 cents. Okay, somewhere in that area by the end of July. Don't be discouraged.
I would take a penny.
Yeah. That's my thoughts. I think that it's definitely worth making a play on. I think it looks like it's going to do well. Yeah. Thank you, Romeo. Appreciate you, bro. That's awesome. Go GB. I love the Fudge Packers. That's actually, no, seriously, that's like one of my favorite teams. It's not my team. It's like my best friend's favorite team. And I just have watching football growing up, man. I would always go over to his house, and they're a Green Bay family. So a lot of good memories with Aaron Rodgers and McCarthy back in the golden days, man. A lot of good memories back in the day there. But yeah.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, I gotta get ready to take my son to soccer here. He's only got a couple of games left, so today he's got like a photo day or something. So we got to do this again, though, man.
Yeah, bro. I had a lot of fun. A lot of good questions, Rob.
I'd like to dual stream it so that we can get onto your channel as well, though. So if you need help, then message me and we'll chat offline and or off, not live anyway, and and we'll get it set up
Yeah.
for you.
That sounds good. I think that would be good. Yeah, that'd be really good. I'd like to do that.
Awesome.
Maybe within like the next week or two, whenever things are starting to rip.
Hey, I'm always around on weekends, man. I can make it happen. So.
Hell yeah, brother. Sounds good to me.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, brother. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for being here. Thank you, guys.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.